Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're not getting fed up with these stories. I know we haven't moved for a fortnight. We are moving on Monday. Yeah, so can't really give you any travel things. But anyway, the next. I said yesterday I was going to tell you about the accommodation part of Holmfirth because, as I said, I started out in a boarding house in Holmfirth, paying £4.50 a week, which was my total income. Well, at some point, there's a pub. There was a pub near the farm, and I finished up. I think it was run by a single mother. She had a little lad, and she offered to put me up. And I wouldn't have as far to walk, and it was half a quid, 10 bob less a week, £4 instead of £4.50, or £4.10 in them days. So I took that opportunity and I went there. But it wasn't too good. I slept in the same room as the little boy, and he kept me awake crying at night for some reason. But as it happened, there was a little row of cottages at the end of the lane from the farm, and this old lady came out of one of the cottages as I was walking home one night, and she said to me, Are you the lad that's staying in the pub? And I said, yes. And she says, how much are you paying to stay there? I said, £4 a week. She says, well, I don't like thoughts of a young lad like you staying in a pub. Would you like to come and stay with me for £3.50 or £3.10 a week, as it was then? And I said, yes, yeah, I would, thank you. And this old lady, she looked after me like a mother. Beautiful cooking, it was great, it really was. But as with all my jobs, it came to an untimely end when I got the sack. So I did leave and left under a cloud, I'm afraid. But 2 years later, I did go back to see this lady. And to my astonishment, the next door neighbour came out and said she don't live here anymore. She got married. Well, she can't have, I mean, when you were 15-year-old, somebody at 40 was ancient, so she probably wasn't as old as I thought she was. Yeah, so she went and got herself married, and I never saw her again after that. Yeah, but she was a lovely lady. So that brought to an end my escapade in Holmfirth. So we go back. I think after that, I think I got a job at Pudsey Park, and they moved. That didn't go well either. I worked in greenhouse for a bit in Pudsey Park, and they asked me to disbud the chrysanthemums, and I took all buds off. And they shipped me out to playing fields, marking football pitches out, and they caught me playing football with some lads. And then they shipped me to graveyard and went bloody locked me in this room with a stiff, which wasn't very nice. So I didn't stay there long at Pudsey Park, I'm afraid. I never stayed anywhere long, and I can't say I enjoyed any of the jobs I had. But eventually, I did move on to my next and last farm. Tell you about that in another video. All right, see you later. Bye. I've decided to tell you about this next farm. It's not a right lot of incidents at this next farm, and it was at Hewby. That's not far from Harrogate, on the way to Harrogate. The most significant thing about this farm that I was at, I mean, it was the last farm that I worked on, and I'll tell you why. But first of all, something happened that's been with me all my life on that farm. And it might come as a surprise to you, because by this time I'm 16. And one day, the foreman, I lived on this farm, I lived in with the foreman and his family. And he asked me to go clear this culvert. And I was walking across the fields to where this blocked culvert was, with a crowbar over my shoulder. And it was a beautiful sunny day with cotton wool clouds. And it was in a beautiful area. I mean, maybe that was the awakening, because I never really took a great deal of notice of my surroundings where I was before. But I did. I stopped and I looked around and I thought, it's beautiful. And then something hit me like it's never hit me before, and that is my own mortality. And it might seem ridiculous, but at the age of 16, I only just realised that one day I would simply stop existing. I would cease to exist. The clarity of the thought of that hit me like I could never reproduce it. It was an amazing feeling. And it never ever left me, didn't that memory of that feeling, that day in that field with those cotton wool clouds. But my experience at the farm was like all the others, and eventually the farmer who owned the farm sent for me. I went totally unsuspecting. And he said to me, the farmer said to me, he says, "We'll miss your happy smiling face around here, but," he says, "you'll have to go." He says, "You're no good at farming." And that was the end of my farming days. I suppose, I mean, he was right. I was a city lad, and at that time in my life, I wanted to be where it was at, if you know what I mean, and didn't want to be. I was lonely. I didn't want to be in isolation. Yeah, so yeah. So the next stage of my life started from this point, when. Anyway, we'll come into that in future. Okay, I thought I'd have this on. See you later. Bye.